Hey everyone, welcome to week 4 of yoga, our 4th and final week of yoga together. I think we're all good for the videos. I know there were some problems with the audio last time. Maybe just let me know if the audio is working. Give me like a thumbs up or say that it's working in the comments. I think I fixed it from last time. I think my window was open and the sound that was picking up was from outside. So yeah, just let me know if there's any audio problems. I will keep checking the screens periodically in case someone comments that the audio is off. Hey Ryan, is the audio okay? Awesome, thank you. Okay, so for today, you do need a strap. You can use anything, but I'll just give you a second to grab it. So I have like a TheraBand type thing, a belt or a towel or a blanket or anything that you can use like a strap, okay? So maybe just grab that now so you have it handy. We're gonna use it closer to the end of class. For those of you who I haven't met yet, my name's Cheyenne. I'm a coach at Rideau. I'm not any sort of a professional yoga teacher, but I really enjoy doing it, and I'm really happy to share with you over the last couple of weeks. The videos will be up on CKO's Facebook page, so if you want to keep doing yoga, you can repeat the classes anytime. It's all up there. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start in child's pose. So knees nice and wide, hips sitting down on your feet, hands out in front of you, forehead to the ground. Take a second, relax here. Start to arrive on your mat or whatever you're practicing on. Let go of whatever it was you did this morning. And just press pause on whatever it is you're going to do this afternoon. You'll get there. Start to tune out any distractions. And just start to pay attention to your breath and tune into your body. Press into your hands and walk them over to the left, finding a stretch in your right side. And notice how when you inhale, you can expand through your rib cage and deepen that stretch. And then walk your hands over towards the right, stretching at your left side. Again, breathing into your rib cage, trying to deepen that stretch by using your breath. Come back to center. Walk your hands a little further away, but let your elbows rest down on the mat and bring the palms of your hands together. Maybe walk your elbows in a little bit closer so your biceps hug your ears. And then bend your elbows and try and touch your thumbs to the back of your neck, keeping your palms connected. Or however far you can go. This might feel easy, it might be difficult, depending on what your shoulders are feeling right now. So just do whatever works for you. Take what you need and leave anything else. This practice is really just for you. One more time, Hold your thumbs nice and close to your neck. Okay, so elbows are bent. We're going to stay there. And just try and walk your elbows a little further away. And then sink your chest and hips back and down. Release that. Let your hands go. And come up into a table. We're going to move through some cat-cows. So drop your belly, lift your hips, pull your chest forwards, and look up for cow. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone under, arch through your low back, through your upper back, separate your shoulder blades, and tuck your chin. Again, cow, you can move at your own pace. And cat. One more, cow. And cat. Bring your spine back to neutral, and we'll do some rotations. So keeping your knees and hips where they are, lift your left hand up, big twist, and then reach under your right armpit, reach through, try and get your ear down and your shoulder down. Reach up, and reach through. Last one, reach up, and reach through. We're gonna stay here for a second. So option to try and deepen your twist, option to maybe straighten your right leg, pressing into your right hand. Come back up to table, and we'll do the other side. Right hand reaches up, and reach it through, and reach up, and reach through. Last one, reach up, and reach through. We'll stay, drop your ear down, maybe straighten out your left leg onto your toes to deepen your stretch. Come back to your table. We're gonna work on our wrists. So flip your fingers back to face you. If you can't go all the way, then just go as far as you can. And wherever you're at, just start to draw some circles with your shoulders around your wrists. Maybe you need to bring your wrists in closer so you're not really in a table anymore. Whatever option works. And then switch directions. And then start to move back and forth. And when you sit your hips back, try to lift the heel of your hand up so that you're stretching all the way through to your fingers. And then sit on your feet just so you can lift your hands up, shake them out, and make a fist, okay? Make it tight and seal it with your thumb. And then you're gonna try and get the backs of your hands on the ground, whether that means elbows point out or maybe you can get them to point forwards. And then wherever you're at, just try and straighten your arms and keep the fist. And maybe you can walk out to more of a table, or maybe you need to not put a lot of weight on your hands and you keep it resting on your feet. And then shake it out. Come back into your table. We're going to move through some shoulder mobilities. So left hand is going to reach straight out in front of you, thumb pointing up. And then flip so that your palm faces up. And try to tuck yourself in between your shoulder blades. In this position, try to float your hand away from your neck and back. And then return it forwards and then down. Other side. So right hand reaches forward, palm faces up. So your thumb is pointing like outside. And then bend your elbow, try and tap yourself in between your shoulder blades. Try not to let your head dip away. Keep your straight spine. Hold. And then just try to hover your hand up over your back. It's okay if you can't quite get there. And then straighten your elbow and hand back down. Now we're going back to the left side, and this time you're going to reach your left hand out to the side. And then point it so that your thumb is pointing to the ground, palm faces back. And then you're going to bend your elbow and you're going to bring the back of your hand to somewhere on your back. It doesn't have to be super high, it could be low back, it could be middle, wherever your shoulder mobility lets you go. And then drop your elbow. See if you can feel a deep stretch in your shoulder. And then keeping your hand where it is, lift your elbow. Drop your elbow. Do that a few times. Bring your elbow back to neutral. Stay strong through your core and just float your left hand up off your back. Hold. And then straighten your elbow and then bring your hand back down. Do the other side. The right hand reaches out to the side. Thumb points down. Bend your elbow, bring your hand to your back. Back of your hand to your back, wherever it's at. Drop your elbow. Lift your elbow. It's kind of a weird shoulder stretch. If you have like pain, then just hold wherever you're at. Return your elbow to neutral and just try and float that hand. And then straighten your arm and bring it back down to table. Roll your wrists out if you need to. We're almost done in table here. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And keeping your lower back nice and solid, try and separate your shoulder blades as far apart as you can. Okay, so it's kind of like your upper back is in cat, and you're trying to find like lots of space between your shoulder blades, but you're not really arching through your spine. And then sink your chest and try and touch your shoulder blades together behind you. And then press away. And then sink. Okay, so just move through this a few times with your scapular slides. And then option to stay here, or tuck your toes under and just hover your knees like 2 inches off the ground. And then keep going with your scap slides. So shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Last one, shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart, and then lift your hips, press back, downward dog. Straighten one leg at a time, pedal out through your downward dog. Maybe lengthen your stance, okay, hands or feet. Walk out a little bit. And then in your downward dog, you're gonna lift your heels up as high as you can. So coming up onto your toes. Lift your hips, lift through your low back, and you're gonna roll forwards, okay? Lift like cat spine, separate your shoulder blades until you're in a high plank. And then shoulder blades together, just like we did. Shoulder blades apart. And then press up through your back, up through your hips, up through your heels, and then back to downward dog. Okay, so we're rolling through it. Try to make this as flowy as possible. We'll do it 2 more times. So roll forwards. When you're in your high plank, shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Of course, you can do that from your knees. Always an option to drop your knees. 1 more. Roll forwards. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart, and roll back to downward dog. Roll forwards into your high plank, and then from your knees or from your toes, lower to your belly. You're gonna take your hands wide off your mat, so elbows at 90 degrees. Tend to your fingertips, look down at the mat. Elbows come up to the sky. We're gonna do 3 rolling cobras. So you're gonna start by trying to lift through like the back of your heart, and then your head follows through. So again, really flowy, and then start to lower down. Again, lift from the back of your heart. Head is the last thing that comes up, and then roll down. Belly first, then your heart, and then your head is the last thing that comes down. Last one. Flow up, and flow down. Hands can come back underneath your shoulders, from your knees or from your toes. Press up to high plank. Press back, downward dog. Look in between your thumbs and step forward to a forward fold. Sink down here. Maybe straighten one leg, bend the other. Maybe grab opposite elbows. And then release your elbows. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Reach up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, high plank. Press back, downward dog. Lift your heels, lift your hips, we're rolling forwards. And then lower to the ground. Hands come wide, rolling cobra, just one time. Lift from the back of your heart. Lift your head and flow back down. Hands come under your shoulders, tuck your toes. From your knees or your toes, press up, high plank. And press back, downward dog. Your right leg is gonna come up for a 3-legged dog. And then step it forwards in between your thumbs. And just go ahead and drop your back knee for a low lunge. Lift up for a low lunge, and you're going to want to make your lunge a little bit shorter, maybe, than you normally would. Doesn't have to be mega short. Cactus your arms. And then inhale, lift your heart, squeeze your elbows together, squeeze your shoulder blades together, look up. And then exhale, squeeze your elbows together in front of you. Separate your shoulder blades, tuck your chin, pinkies together. We're going to do that 2 more times. Cactus, look up, like cow spine. And then squeeze in front of you. Arch your back like cat spine. 1 more. Cactus, strong for your fingertips. And then squeeze, tuck your chin. Open back up into cactus, and this time, option to come into eagle arms. So that would be, you're gonna cross your right elbow over your left, okay? Maybe just trying to get the backs of your hands together, or maybe your palms come together. If this isn't happening, just do the squeeze like you normally would. Hold them there. Settle into your eagle arms. Feel your shoulder blades separating behind you. And then start to lift your elbows. Lift from your heart. Keeping the back of your neck long, so it's a little bit of a back bend, but not from your head, okay? From your mid-back, and then lifting through your elbows. 1 more breath here. Release your eagle arms, shake them out. Grab, arms come up, and then grab onto your opposite elbows. Okay, make sure your shoulders are nice and far away from your ears. Inhale, grow taller. And then exhale, tip over to the right so you're finding a stretch in your left side. Release your elbows, lift up. And we're gonna move into half split. Okay, so we've done this every week so far, so you know you can go hands, or you can just sneak your hands back. We're gonna do it 3 times. So low lunge, half split. You can always put your hands on a block, or you can just keep them up. Low lunge. Half split. Make sure you're squaring your hips in your half split. Last one, low lunge. Half split and hold. Square your hips. So left hip forward, right hip back. Feeling a deep stretch in your right hamstring. And then keeping your hands down, lunge forwards. You can either go onto tented fingertips or plant your hands. Now, option, you can keep doing low half split to low lunge. Or you can fire up through your back leg, pull your chest forwards, look up, and then straighten your front leg any amount, square your hips. So it's the same thing we were doing, just with your back knee lifted. So pull your chest forward, maybe tuck your knee down when you pull forwards, and then straighten your front leg. A more intense version of half split. One more. Lunge forwards, and lunge back. Lunge forwards, plant your hands. Step your right foot back to meet your left. Lower all the way to the ground. Hands come wide, roll in Cobra one time. Elbows up, lift from your back of your heart. Flow back down. Hands come underneath your shoulders, press up, high plank. Press back, downward dog. And just one time, lift through your heels. We're rolling forwards to a high plank. Shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart. Push back to the downward dog. Left leg comes up to the sky. Step it forwards in between your thumbs. Drop your back knee. Come on up for a low lunge. Again, shorten your lunge if you have to. Use your judgment from the last time we did it. Cactus your arms. Inhale, squeeze your hands back, open up through your chest. And then squeeze the other way. Arch through your back, tuck your chin, hollow body. Cactus, open up. And squeeze in front of you. Last one, cactus, open up. And squeeze it forward. Pinky fingers together, elbows together, hips come back a little bit. Cactus, open up, and you can do the same thing again, or you can go to eagle arms. Right elbow coming underneath the left elbow. Find your eagle arms. Feel your shoulder blades separating behind you. And then lift through your elbows. Start to lift through your heart, but keep the back of your neck long. So it's a small back bend, and it's coming from your mid-back. Maybe you're better at eagle arms on one side than the other. That's normal. Release your eagle arms, reach up. Clasp your opposite elbows. Try and grow taller out of your rib cage, out of your hips. And then tip over to the left, side body stretch on the right. Inhale, reach up. And we're doing our half splits on this side. So low lunge, half split, whatever option you're feeling today. You don't always have to do the same one. 3 times. And when you're done your 3 times, we're going to meet in half split. Feeling a hip flexor stretch when you're in your lunge on the right side, and a hamstring stretch on the left side when you're in your half split. And next time you're in half split, hold. Square up your hips. Take a look at your front toes, your left toes. Okay, make sure they're not falling out towards the left. Keep them pointing straight up. And then option to keep your knee down, or you're gonna lunge forward. Fire up through your back leg. Pull your chest forward. And then press your hips back. Straighten out your front leg. We'll do that 3 times as well. Or you can do 3 times with your legs down again. Pull forwards. Press back. And you can straighten that like any amount, just until you feel a stretch. Last one, pull forwards. And press back. Come on into your lunge, plant your hands. Step your left foot back to meet your right, high plank. And we'll lower down to the ground. Tent your fingers, hands come wide. Rolling Cobra 1 time. Press up to high plank. Press back, downward dog. And again, 1 time we're gonna roll forwards and do our scap slide. So lift through your heels, through your hips, through your back. Wave it forward through your back. So your shoulder blades are separated. Slide them together. Slide them apart. And then press your way back to downward dog. Look forward in between your thumbs and step to a forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to get 1 hand down onto the ground. You can tent your hands, or you can put them on a block, totally up to you. Keep your right leg bent. Straighten your left leg and sweep your left hand up for a twist. And then circle it back down, and we'll do the other side. Left hand comes to the ground. Right leg straightens. Right hand reaches back. Try and stack your shoulders. And sweep it back down. We're going to do 1 more on each side. Knees can be as bent as you need to, and although you're intending your left leg to straight, it doesn't have to quite get there. Press evenly into your feet. Make sure you're not pulling up through your arches so much that you're on like the outside edge of your foot. Try and keep it flat. And bring that hand back down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back, high plank. And we're gonna lower from knees or toes to the ground. You guys know this part now. Rolling Cobra, tent your fingers. Elbows up, lift from the back of your heart. Roll your head up, and then roll yourself down from your belly to your head. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Press up, high plank. Press back, downward dog. And 1 time we're rolling to scap slides. Okay, so heels come up, hips come up, roll forwards and up through your body like a cat spine. When you're in your high plank, your shoulder blades are separated. Slide them together. So drop your chest. Slide them apart, and then roll through your upper back, through your lower back, through your hips, and then at the very end, you sink your heels back down. And they don't have to touch the ground. That's very hard. Right leg comes up, 3-legged dog, and then step it forwards in between your thumbs. And go ahead and drop your back knee. We're doing low lunge again. Hands come up, and just sink your hips nice and low. Really try and bend into that front knee. Front ankle even a little bit. Hands come down beside you and clasp your hands together behind your back. Start by rolling your shoulder blades down and back. Square up your hips. And then lift through your heart. Back of your neck stays long. And then the last thing is that you try and lift your fingers away from your butt. Maybe point them towards your back leg. Opening up through the front of your chest. Release that back off your lunge a little bit. Hands come up above you. And then clasp your hands together above your head, but keep your index fingers pointing. Okay, kind of like a finger gun. like this, Charlie's Angels. Okay, so straight arms, lift up, grow taller, and then tip over to the right, and side stretch in the left. Lift up, release your clasp. And then clasp all your fingers together. Okay, so lose the finger again. And you're gonna clasp your hands together behind your neck. All right, elbows come forwards. And you're making kind of like a hammock for your head, okay? You're supporting it through your upper body. Go ahead, sink your hips nice and low. And then, just like we've been working on, lift through your heart, okay? Let the back bend come from your mid-back, okay? And you can tip your head back, but the strain should be out of your neck because you're supporting yourself with your hands. Elbows forwards. And then back off your lunge. Release your clasp of your hands. Spread your elbows wide. And spread your hands, and you want them kind of like just tickling the back of your ears. So they're staying there through the strength of your arms and not because you have them clasped there. Square up your hips. And then on your exhale, close your hips and twist towards the right. And then square up your hips. It's a pretty small movement, but pretty important. Close your hips and twist. Make sure this twist is coming from your body, from your hips, and not just from your arms. That's what bending our arms is doing. It's making us twist from our body. Square up, last one. And twist. Hold. Straighten out your arms. So your left arm is forward, right arm is back. And then left arm comes to the sky and right arm comes to lower back. Reverse. Look behind you. And then look forward, and your left hand is going to come down to the mat. And your right hand is going to come up to the sky for twist. And then option to keep your hand up or bring it back down to your low back. Okay? Maybe you want to tent your fingers, maybe you want to block. We're going to move 3 times through twisted half split. Okay? So like we just did, but you have that twist. Lunge forwards, into your twist, lunge back, into your twisted half split. Keep your toes pointing straight up, don't let them cut over towards the right. Make sure your hips are square. One more. Lunge forward, and lunge back. We're going to hold in our twisted half split. Again, option to just bring your hand down. Your hand isn't really the important thing here. Try and keep your right hip low. Don't let it pop up too high. And then go ahead and lunge forwards. Lift that hand back up to the sky, your right hand. Tuck your toes at the back and fire up through your back leg. Now, just like when we did it untwisted, option to keep your knee down. Otherwise, from here, keep your twist, and then straighten your right leg any amount. Okay, so twisted half split, but with your back knee lifted. And then lunge forwards into your twist, and press back. One more, lunge forwards, and press back. Hold. All right, bring your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Bend your right knee if you have to. And then you're going to crawl your hands towards the left, towards the long edge of your mat. Pivot on your toes until you're in a wide-legged forward fold. And just grab opposite elbows and chill here for a second. Maybe you need to adjust your legs to longer. Make sure your toes aren't pointing out, okay? They should be pointing straight forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Release your elbows. And then Try to tent your fingers on the ground and keep your back flat. Maybe you need a block. That's totally fine. Or maybe your back bends a little bit. So left hand stays down. Right hand reaches up to the sky for twist. You can bend into your left leg option or keep it straight. Try to stack your shoulders. Switch sides, right hand comes down. Left hand comes up. Try to stack your shoulders. One more on each side, left hand comes down. Right hand comes up. And last one, right hand comes down. Left hand comes up. Both hands down to the ground. Bend into your knees a little bit and just crawl back towards the top of your mat. Plant your hands. Step your right foot back for high plank. And lower all the way to the ground. Hands come wide. Elbows up, one time rolling cobra. Plant your hands, tuck your toes, high plank. Downward dog. And then one time roll to scap slides. Okay, so heels come up, hips come up, low back curves, upper back curves. Shoulder blades are apart. Slide them together. Slide them back apart, and then press your way back to downward dog. Other side, left leg comes up. Step it forwards in between your thumbs. Drop your back knee. Hands come up to the sky. Sink at your hips. Big bend into your left knee. Clasp your hands together behind your back. Try to find the awkward clasp, okay? Whichever one feels weird. Roll your shoulder blades back and down together. Sink your hips, lift through your heart. Keep the back of your neck long. And then if you can, lift your fingertips away from your butt. Try and point towards your back feet. Release that. Back off your lunge a little bit so your hips come over your back knee. Clasp your hands together above you. Pointer fingers are straight. Grow taller and then tip over towards the left, stretching out the right side. Reach back up to the sky. Clasp your hands and cradle the back of your head. Elbows forwards. Start your back bend from your heart. Maybe your hips come forward as well. And then you can tilt your head back, but you're supported by your hands. Elbows can point up to the sky. Maybe you even feel a bit of a tricep or lat stretch as you point your elbows up. And then separate your clasp of your hands so that your fingertips are just brushing your ears and get your elbows nice and far back. So now you're holding your elbows open just with the strength of your shoulders. Close your hips, turn towards the left, square your hips off. Again, close your hips, maybe you sink a little further forwards. Square your hips. Last one, close your hips and hold. Straighten your arms, so your right arm is forward, left arm is back. And then reach your right hand up, left hand comes to your low back for reverse. Look behind you. And then look in front of you, right hand comes to the ground. Left hand comes to the sky for easy twist. Option to keep your hand there or lower it again. Maybe you bring your hand to a block or you tent your fingers. Twisted half split, so straightening out through your your left leg, your front leg. And then lunge forwards into your twist. And then back into twisted half split, square off your hips. Lunge forward, last one. And then hold your twisted half split. Try not to let your left side of your butt point to the sky, point it down. And then look at your left toes and make sure they're pointing forwards and they're not coming out towards the left. Lunge forward. Fire up through your back leg for twist. Option, of course, to keep your knee down. And then straighten your front leg. So a more intense version because our back leg is lifted. Lunge forward. And lunge back. Lunge forward. And lunge back. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Crawl your hands to the right. Pivot on your feet so that you're in wide-legged forward fold, and adjust your feet if you need to. Inhale, lift up halfway. Clasp your hands together behind your back and roll your shoulders up and back. Back of your neck is long. And then fold forward. And maybe your hands lift up off your back behind you. Just make sure that you're not dumping like your shoulders in towards your neck. You're trying to lift them up really high, not necessarily really far over your head in front of you. Release your hands to the mat. Crawl back towards the front of your mat, plant your hands. Step back, high plank. And lower down to the ground. Rolling Cobra, elbows up. Lift from the back of your heart. Chin comes up and then everything else starts to flow down. Fire up through your hands. Tuck your toes. High plank. Downward dog. Last time. Lift your heels. Lift your hips. Lift through your low back. Lift through your upper back. Separate your shoulder blades. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Squeeze them apart. And then lift all the way back through. Downward dog. Drop your knees. And this is where you're going to need your strap. So you can stay where you are, but I'm going to turn so that you can see me. So actually, just have your strap handy. You don't need it first thing. Sit comfortably. I'm going to sit on my feet. If you need a break from sitting on your feet, just come up onto your knees. Inhale, hands come up to the sky. And lower your right hand until you're in like an L shape. And then turn your your right, the one that's out to the side, your thumb down to the ground. And then bring it in behind your back. And then you're going to try and tap in between your shoulder blades. So like we did at the beginning of class, I'm going to turn so you can see. We're not necessarily trying to grab here, okay? Try and keep the integrity of your posture so you're not dumping into your low back. You're not arching your head forwards for more space, okay? Hold here. And then try to float your lower hand, your right hand, away from your back. Make it active. And then add in your upper hand. So you're floating your hands up off your back. And then straighten your arms. And bring your right hand back up. Other side. Left hand lowers. Drop your thumb so your palm points backwards. Bring the back of your hand to your back at whatever height works. Try and touch in between your shoulder blades with your right hand. And you're finding a stretch here, but you're making sure that your back is straight and the stretch is coming from your shoulders and you're not compensating by moving your back around. And then float your bottom hand away from your back. And then float your top arm away from your back and hold, make it active. And then straighten your arms. Come back up and relax down. Okay. Grab your strap and start by holding it really wide. Okay, you're gonna have to listen to your own body when it comes to doing this one. All right, so start off super wide. You're gonna tap your knees in front of you. You're gonna bring it up and over your head and then just bring one hand up, the other one down. Circle it around. Bring the other one up and back, okay? And then go the other way. So, get my curtain there. So, up and around, and then back, okay? You can kind of move freely, all right? But you're just doing one shoulder at a time that's sort of looping around, and the other one is just holding the strap. Maybe, if it's super easy, bring your hands in closer, and do that a few times. How's the audio, guys? Is it working? I don't see any comments about it, so I'm assuming it's good. Okay. Holding onto your strap. You're going to hold it in your right hand, up nice and high. Okay, just let it dangle. Bend your elbow. And then you're going to grab it with your bottom hand, but this stretches all of it at the top hand. Okay, so you don't need to be like stretching your bottom hand way up. Grab it wherever. I'm going to turn so you can see. And just start to pull with your bottom hand. Okay, you're looking for a stretch in your tricep or maybe your lat of your top arm. Trying to get your top arm elbow behind your head. Okay, but without arching through your back or bending at all. Good. Now relax, hold on, keep a hold of the strap with your bottom hand, and start to straighten your top arm. Maybe it doesn't get all the way there, but you're just really gently and like really carefully, because the bottom arm's like kind of in a funky position. You're trying to stretch your bottom hand a little higher. Okay? That's kind of a weird one, so just go with what you feel. And release, and we'll do the other side. So left hand is on top, strap is just dangling. Bend your elbow, grab wherever on the strap with your bottom hand, and start to pull with your bottom hand so that you can stretch your top shoulder. And then start to straighten through your top arm, let your bottom arm bend, and you're just trying to get it a little bit higher, but again, without bending through your back. I'm saying that for myself because I keep doing it. Okay, and it does feel a little funkier when you stretch the bottom hand, so just do with whatever's in your comfort zone. And release, shake it out. One more with the strap. So again, put your hands wide. Okay, we're going to be similar to what we did before, but this time you're not going to go one hand at a time. Okay, both shoulders at the same time. You're going to reach back, tap your butt with the strap, and then come forwards. Okay, so start as wide as you need to with whatever strap you have, like super wide. When you find a sticky spot in your shoulders, okay, try and work through it. Try to do it without shooting your chin forwards. And just move through it a few times. All right, release the strap. Put it down to the side. We're done with it. Just give yourself a big hug and try to grab your shoulder blades behind you. Let's counteract some of that really intense stretching that we did. And then lie on your belly. And forehead down. Tent your fingers. We're going to do one more rolling cobra. Actually, two more. We're going to start with one though. Elbows up. Lift from your heart. Your chin is the last thing that comes up. And then wave yourself back down. Forehead to the mat. Crawl your left fingertips nice and far away. Maybe you want to keep a cactus arm, okay? Or maybe your arm comes straight. And then you're going to start to roll towards the left, okay? And you're looking for a pec stretch on the left side. So however far you need to go to feel that, maybe your top leg comes down to the ground, or maybe it just stays stacked. You can use your right hand for balance to keep pushing yourself towards the left. Or if you're really confident and comfortable here, maybe it comes to your low back. You have to be careful, try not to roll your left shoulder forwards, okay? Keep it pressed down. Keep it like depressed into your shoulder socket. If it rolls forwards and up, you're not gonna get the stretch. Roll back onto your belly, carefully. And we'll do the other side. So maneuver yourself to space. I'm gonna hit the wall. Okay, crawl your right fingertips nice and far away. Using your left hand for balance to guide yourself. Maybe your top leg reaches over. Looking for a pec stretch on the right side. And maybe binding your hand behind you. Option. You could always do this on a wall. I just find it's pretty easy to just use your body weight as your stretch. That's a lot more effortless on the ground. But if you are having trouble finding your stretch, or it makes you uncomfortable to like lean your body weight on your shoulder this way, then you can stand up and you can do it against the wall. And roll back onto your belly. And then roll all the way onto your back. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Nice and tight. We did quite a bit of back bending today, so counteract that. Let your head come down to the mat. And then bring the soles of your feet to the ground. And then we're gonna come into reclined butterfly. So soles of your feet together, knees out to the side. Maybe you want pillows or blocks underneath your knees, but they could just chill here. We're not gonna stay for very long. Just let your hands relax down by your side. Take your hands to the very top of your legs, like in your hip crease, okay? And just really start gently, just start to push your hips away from you. Maybe your spine lifts up off the ground in your low and mid back. Keep the back of your neck long. And just breathe some space into your spine. Keep your tailbone down. Just find that sort of natural arc in your low back. Let your spine decompress a little bit. And relax down. You can send your legs long. Hands by your sides. Maybe walk your shoulder blades together. Make the back of your neck nice and long. Close your eyes. And start to notice your breath again. Tune back into your body. Consciously trying to relax the space between your eyebrows, your eyelids, your jaw, your tongue and your mouth. The space around your shoulders, between your shoulder blades. Spent a lot of time on shoulders today. Sending your breath into your low belly. Finding relaxation through your low back. Take a second to appreciate yourself for having done yoga today. Good job. Of course, you're welcome to stay in your relaxation, or you can start to wake yourself up. Tilt your head from side to side like you're saying no, really slowly. Roll your wrists and ankles, maybe crack your knuckles. And when you're ready, you can sit up. Namaste. Thank you so much for doing yoga with me today and for the last 4 weeks. I've really enjoyed it. Any feedback is welcome, so send me a DM. And thank you so much. Like I said at the beginning of class, the videos are going to be available on CKO's Facebook page. And I'm always available for questions about stretching or yoga or anything. So thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.